This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. The holidays are over, the decorations are down, and suddenly everything feels a little empty. It's normal to feel the winter blues after the holiday excitement. January, February, and March are by far my least favorite months of the year. It's cold and dark, and I have to get some extra vitamin D on board. I also need to keep my regular scheduled appointments with my therapist. So if you're feeling that post-holiday funk, I definitely suggest you checking out BetterHelp because maybe it's time to talk. You might also be one of those people like me who makes New Year's resolutions and you get super motivated. So maybe you need someone behind you to hold you accountable and come up with a plan to meet your goals. BetterHelp is super convenient, totally online. You have a therapist right at your fingertips whenever you need them. So head over to betterhelp.com/wifeofcrime1 to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/wifeofcrime1 for 10% off your first month.
Don't miss out on the last few weeks of football action with Prize Picks, the best place to win cash while watching the playoffs. The app is simple. Pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 1,000 times your cash. Download the Prize Picks Daily Fantasy Sports app today and use code Spotify and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's code Spotify on Prize Picks to get $50 instantly when you play $5. You don't even need to win to receive the $50 bonus. It's guaranteed. Prize Picks. Run your game. Must be present in certain states. Visit prizepicks.com for restrictions and details.
This podcast is an unscripted, unedited conversation about true crime. We take the cases very seriously, but I don't take myself seriously at all, and neither should you. Welcome to Wife of Crime.
So Russ, so many times in true crime, we tell stories of husbands killing wives and boyfriends killing girlfriends. And the story I'm going to tell you today, in the beginning, police thought that's exactly what this was. But after a little bit of digging, they realized that this story was a lot more complex. This is the case of Julie Kibuishi and Sam Herr. Hello, everyone. Hi, Russ.
What up, Jess?
I haven't seen Russ in a few days because I've been away. So, did you miss me?
It's crazy. No one told me what to do in like 3 days. Well, except Biggie and Lucy, because they
Tell you to take me outside.
Yeah, they look at you, they cry, Lucy scratches the door. So I guess they picked up where you left off.
Well, we are back after a couple weeks. We're doing this bi-weekly thing. We'll see how it works.
And we're still probably a day late.
No, we're definitely late. It was supposed to come out today.
But we're here.
Exactly. So thank you so much for everybody's loving messages and comments that they were excited that we came back. And thank you for the awesome reviews on iTunes. We got a few more 5-star reviews. They were really cool. So thanks so much, guys. We really appreciate it. It definitely encourages me when you guys comment and tell me how much you missed us and everything. It was really exciting. So thank you.
And no one even ripped me on iTunes this week.
No one ripped you. No one ripped you.
Normally it's like, I don't know how Jess is married to him.
It's true.
Shout out to you, Karen, leaving bad messages. Reviews. If you leave a bad review, you're a Karen.
Definitely a Karen. I can't believe someone would actually say, I don't know how she's with him. Like, that's so rude. I would never comment like that on someone, especially people I don't even know.
Yeah, because they don't see how handsome I am. It's just for the looks. I'm a kept man nowadays.
Well,
I'm just saying that because I'm unemployed because of COVID, but one day I'm going to get a job again.
A lot of people are in the same boat. A lot of people are struggling with unemployment because of COVID. So shout out to you guys. The unemployment 600 struggling. Extra a week is about to end. So the struggle is about to get real.
Well, I was living my best life, and please extend it.
So we're glad to be back. I posted the story from New York City last week. I posted it on Instagram and Facebook about the poor guy, Fahim. I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right. Fahim Salah. He was murdered in his apartment by his ex-assistant because the ex-assistant stole 90 grand from him. And then the dude, Fahim, he was like, I'm not even going to call the cops. Let's make a payment plan. I'll set you up with a payment plan. And this dude was so ungrateful.
I would have beat him up and told the cops.
Exactly.
No, I don't really tell the cops nothing. Don't snitch.
Well, he gave him an option to do a payment plan. He wasn't even working for him anymore. He started his own company, probably with the money that he stole from the guy.
Payment plan for 90 grand? What do you give him? Student loans?
What do you mean? He was
that's the equivalent of paying back student loans. You're just never paying back 90 grand.
Well,
to a rich person,
he not only
you can pay back 90 grand, but to a regular person, like, oh, you could pay back 90 grand. And then you pull out the Kanye. How, Sway? How?
Well, he opened his own business with it.
The
dude opened his own like marketing business or something and then never paid the guy back and then went and murdered him and dismembered him. How crazy. But the craziest part of all is that the dude that killed the guy, that killed Fahim, he bought all the supplies with his own credit card like an idiot. So the cops were able to trace it back to his credit card. He bought the saw with his credit card.
I knew that I was going to say it, but you didn't stop to breathe, and I was going to jump in and say that because I knew part of this story. And I was going to call it, You Are Dumb.
Yeah. Like
you ruined it.
Sorry. We should do a segment called You Are Dumb.
No, I'm going to do a segment.
You are really, really dumb.
If they don't know who that is, they're going to be like, Jess wasn't funny.
No, they do. A lot of people know who that is. If y'all don't know who that is, look it up on YouTube. You are dumb. You are really, really dumb.
Well, I'm going to do it. So
you're going to start finding dumb criminals?
Yeah, probably like 5 minutes before or while you're talking, I'll look up on my phone. I'm not going to like research.
You're not going to
like
research any dumb criminals?
I told everyone I don't do homework.
Oh, that'll be a good segment to have every week.
Yeah, you are dumb.
Your contribution to the podcast.
I contribute.
You do, but that'll be a nice extra contribution. You contribute.
I feel attacked.
You contribute with your, outlandish remarks.
I think I have good insights. Like
you do sometimes. Sometimes your comments are like, I get a little taken aback, and I'm like, oh, should I edit that? Should I not edit it? Should I delete that part?
If someone doesn't like us, just don't listen or Karen review it. You know what I mean? Blow a whistle or something.
Well, this case of Fahim Salah, rest in peace, poor dude. This case that he was...
There's more to this, I think, though. Like, if I was on the outside looking in, like, no one's stupid enough. I mean, there are people that are stupid. I met a lot of people.
You're going to do a segment about stupid criminals.
No one's stupid enough to buy the murder weapons and all the cleanup stuff with their credit cards. Everyone knows credit card stuff is traceable.
Traced. Yeah, but he
did. This seems a little fishy. There's a little fishy odor to this.
Okay. Well, we'll have to... Maybe you can look deeper into it, but as of right now, that's what was released by the NYPD. They didn't release all the details, but they did release to media that he bought the supplies with his own credit card.
Well, everyone knows that cops are sandbagging stuff right now. They're like, oh, you want to kill each other? Kill each other. So right now,
yeah,
that was like...
I don't know.
They're kind of sandbagging it.
Well, we'll see what happens. We'll see how it all plays out. We'll keep you posted. So that case, though, when I heard about it, it actually reminded me of another case from a few years ago. And that's the one I'm going to tell you today. So the case I'm telling you today is the case of Julie Kibuishi and Sam Herr.
You know what I forgot to say? Don't forget to buy merch at wifeofcrime.com. We haven't spoke about merch in a long time.
We do that at the end.
It just popped in my head.
I know, but we do that at the end. That is so random.
No, we forget, and then you rush me through it, and your hand's on the space bar to cut the recording off as I'm talking to cut me off in case I go too long.
All right. So this week, I'm telling you the case of Julie Kibuishi and Sam Herr.
No, you said that right.
Yes, I did. I did say it right.
Kibuishi?
She's Asian American.
I
guarantee that you will not be able to predict this story. It's very twisty and turny, and I don't think you'll be able to predict it while I tell you. So let's see what happens.
I am a profiler. If this is your first episode with Wife of Crime, I am Russ the Profiler, the most unprofessional profiler.
Well, let's see if you can profile this one. So, Julie Kibuishi, she was born February 14th, 1987. She was a Japanese-American girl from Orange County, California. She was a young dancer, just like myself. She was involved...
Now you're an old dancer.
Well, now... Shut up. She was a young dancer who was involved in the performing arts for years. But near like the end of high school, beginning of college, she decided, you know what, let's venture out and do some other things. So she ended up studying fashion design, and that's what she went to college for. While she was in college, she meets a guy named Herr. He was a bit older, like a couple years older than her, and they were in some of the same classes. Sam was a military veteran who left the military after going overseas and doing a tour in Afghanistan. He was a really nice guy, and Julie really liked him. They were good friends, and she told her mom that he was like a big teddy bear. According to Sam,
fat?
No, he wasn't fat. He was very fit, but he was tall and like fit.
I was picturing a teddy bear.
Yeah, no, so he wasn't fat. So according to Sam's... Sorry.
If someone says you're a teddy bear, I think you're like a chubby dude that cuddles.
No, he wasn't. According to Sam's superiors, he volunteered to go to Afghanistan in the early years of the war on terror after 9/11.
Wow.
He is described as a war hero by the soldiers that fought beside him. After Sam returned from Afghanistan, he suffered some pretty severe PTSD because remember, like the early years, I'm not saying that, you know, the later years of the war were any better, but the earlier years of the war were like really bad for a lot of the soldiers that went out there.
It seemed like that, at least to the people like me that's watching it on TV, because I don't know nothing. But in the beginning, the media was covering it that way. So sometimes it's what the media wants you to think. So it could have been worse later years. We weren't there.
No, we weren't there. It's true. He often had nightmares, and friends said that they witnessed him having occasional flashbacks from the war in Afghanistan. But Sam decided he wanted to go back into the military. So he was going to go to college, and then he was going to re-enlist in the military as an officer, because that's what happens when you go to college.
Wait, so he was going to leave? I thought people do their straight 20s so they get that pension.
Not everybody. He volunteered to go because of the war, but then came back and decided, you know what, I'm going to go to college. He probably used his GI Bill, went to college, and then decided, or maybe he got out and then decided to re-enlist.
Yeah, a lot of people volunteered then. Like that dude, Tillman, he played for the Cardinals. He was it Ronnie Tillman?
I don't remember his first name, but I know who you're talking about.
So you know what I found out recently about Ronnie Tillman? He was someone that went and he got killed. He left the NFL to go fight in whatever country was going on. I don't know all
I think it was Iraq at the time.
Iraq or Afghanistan. 'Cause I had a friend that went to Afghanistan. But the dude Ronnie Tillman, if I'm wrong, correct me, but I'm not usually wrong. And he actually, I found out recently, he got killed by friendly fire.
Yeah.
That I heard that there's like a statistic between, I don't know the exact number again, I'm very loose on my numbers, but between 10 and 20% of casualties are friendly fire.
Wow.
Because the craziness in the wars. Like you hear shots, but like, how do you know whose bullet it really is? And you're shooting back and it's chaotic. But I heard he got killed by friendly fire and that wasn't put out there early on.
Wow. That's a shame.
# Russ facts.
Wow. That's so sad.
No, that's sad, but he's a hero because he left millions of dollars.
From the NFL, definitely a hero.
Yeah, that's crazy because like if I left, I was just leaving a bullshit job. It would have been like...
Yeah.
But that's some hero stuff.
That's really cool. That's really sad, though. Oh, okay. So let me get back to the story.
She's not used to me talking.
So Julie and Sam, right, they became close because Julie started tutoring Sam. They were in the same anthropology class.
What's anthropology?
Anthropology is the study. It's funny, I knew you were going to ask, so I put next. Anthropology is the study of human society and cultures and how they were developed.
That sounds boring.
Well, whatever.
I don't know the meaning of any words that are like 5 syllables. That was too many syllables.
Shut up. You're not that stupid.
I'm not that stupid. Anthropology. Like you did when you put your hand under your chin so you could see how many syllables. But
never did that.
They didn't teach you that in school?
No, I always counted on my fingers.
All right, I'm going to stop before I get a bad review.
So anyway, she was the tutor for his anthropology class. So they became pretty close because of that. So as far as anyone knew, Julie and Sam were not romantically involved. She just tutored him and they became close friends. But according to friends and family on both sides, they weren't sleeping together. They weren't romantically involved.
That's so stupid. How do people know if 2 people are sleeping together?
I don't know. That's just what they all said. So Sam lived in an apartment complex called Hamden Martinique Apartments. And it was right near the college. So there was a lot of college kids that lived in this apartment complex. And they had like parties all the time. It's actually funny. When I first moved out of my house, I lived in an apartment complex similar to this. Like there was regular people that lived there, but then there just was a big population of college students because it was right near the college.
And college students aren't regular.
You know what I mean? Like regular working people. Like people, older people and people that worked were out of college. But then there were also a lot of college kids there. So there was a lot of partying, and a lot of the people there all knew each other from school. There was a couple that lived below Sam, and their names were Dan Wozniak and Rachel Buffett. And these 2 were local actors who were involved in community theater.
Means they were broke.
Well, yeah. They were involved in community theater, and they both acted for Disneyland. Okay?
Oh, they had jobs.
They had on and off acting jobs. Working actors, going on auditions nonstop, you know, doing the starving artist thing.
So basically they were waiters and waitresses.
Pretty much me in my early 20s.
So shout out to everyone that's that. I bartended for a super long time. I'm not shitting on you. I made more money bartending than at real jobs.
It's true.
So,
well, in my early 20s, when I first moved to New York, I was going on auditions all the time, getting rejected every day from the acting and dance industry, and bartending and waitressing.
And now she's stuck in the Bronx with me. Shout out to your boy, Plan B.
Shut up. Stop. You're not Plan B.
I am.
No, you're not.
You wanted to be with Leonardo DiCaprio or something over there.
Shut up.
Twirling on a movie set.
Oh, stop. I love you. So on Friday, May 21st, 2010, Julie went out to dinner with her brother, and they were having a really great night because he asked her to be part of his wedding that he was planning, and it was coming up later in the year. And it was just a really special night. They were having a good time. But like halfway through the dinner, she started getting these text messages from Sam, and they were really weird. The first one said, "Can you come by?" with like a period, very short. The second one says, "Please, no sex. I need to talk." Right? Which I found weird because everyone said that they weren't having sex.
I don't believe that.
And they weren't together. But why would he specify no sex if they weren't together?
I don't believe that. No sex thing.
So the third text that came through said, "Please, don't tell anyone, please." He seemed very desperate, and it really struck her as odd. So fast forward now, Saturday morning, the next morning.
Oh, so she didn't go.
Well, I'm about... Saturday morning, the next morning, Julie's mom woke up and noticed that Julie's bedroom door is open, but Julie isn't home. So her mom starts texting her, "Where are you? Are you okay?" No response. And after a few minutes, she decides, all right, I'm just going to call her because this is weird. She calls her multiple times, over and over again. No response. But then it didn't even go to voicemail, which she found really weird. It just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. This got her mom like incredibly worried. She's not the type of girl that just didn't come home, that didn't check in. This is not like her daughter.
When don't phones go to voicemail? That's weird.
Yeah, it was weird. It just kept ringing.
Wasn't this like 1987? Or was that when she was born?
That was when she was born. This is 2010.
That's not funny. I remembered one of the years.
True. That same day, Sam Herr's parents also were looking for their son. Sam was supposed to come to his parents' house and spend the weekend there. So when he didn't arrive Friday night, his parents were irritated. But by Saturday morning, when he still wasn't there, then they started to worry because just like Julie, this was not like their son.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Like, I'm exactly the same way. I'm pretty much in constant communication with you and my mother. So imagine 2 days go by and you don't hear from me, or my mother doesn't hear from me. Both of you are going to be like, WTF, where is she? What's going on?
So people must listen to this. Every time Jess leaves the house for work, within 5 minutes of leaving the house, she calls me. Like, you couldn't tell me before you left. I don't even want to pick up the phone, but if I don't pick up the phone, she'll dial it again and again. She's crazy.
No, what happens is I think of something and I can't text and drive, so I just call you because I'm not supposed to text and drive, and I think of something and I don't want to forget it.
Or you can save it so when we see each other, we actually have something to say to each other in person instead of being in constant electronic communication.
Oh, whatever. You're fine. Hashtag marriage problems. Hashtag husband problems.
The 14% of guys that listen to this podcast are like, preach.
All right. So after trying multiple times to call Sam throughout Saturday, his dad, Steve, is like, you know what? I'm going to his apartment. I'm just going to go there and see what's going on because this is too weird now.
Yeah.
His dad had a key to his apartment. So he just was going to go in and see what's going on. So this time, it's around like 9 p.m. at this time. And Sam's dad decides, all right, I'm going to knock first. He knocks. Sam doesn't come to the door, so he just uses his key and lets himself in.
Mm-hmm.
The apartment seemed really clean. And as he's walking through, he, doesn't notice anything out of place. It's clean. He goes out. He looks.
That's weird because this is a young man's apartment and it's clean.
It's clean.
It's already fishy.
So he goes out, looks on the deck. There's beer bottles and stuff out there.
All
but
right.
Other than that, it's clean. So he's like, what is happening? He decides to walk down the hall and go into Sam's bedroom. And Sam's bedroom door is closed. When he opens the door, he sees a horrifying sight. He sees a body with a large amount of blood all over the bed and the body. And it's the body of a young woman. Sam's dad immediately calls 911. He doesn't touch anything.
Smart.
He calls 911 and, initially he's just thinking, what is going on? Where is Sam? And he says in the interview that I saw him, his first thought was, what did he do?
Oh, no, Dad, don't snitch.
Well, not that he snitched, but he's just like, what did he do? What is happening? Why is this girl here? And where's my son? He's frantic.
Still, if my son did something, I wouldn't say, what did he do?
He didn't snitch. He's just in his mind.
What did he do? I would say, oh my God, who killed a girl in my son's bed?
Well, it's just all in his head. I mean, you're probably thinking a million things. So he calls 911. This crime is like really unusual for the city of Costa Mesa, where they are. It's a really safe area. There's only like 1 to 2 homicides per year. So this is a rare occurrence for them. As the crime scene investigators and homicide detectives are walking the scene, they notice how clean everything is. And that's another thing that they're like, this place is really clean. There's no sign of a struggle. There's a girl murdered here. And there's no struggle and nothing seems out of place. So,
but there's a lot of blood in the bed.
Yeah, there's blood in the bed. But, it's just odd to them because they're like, so she definitely knows whoever lives here. She was here purposefully. Like, they're putting the pieces together.
Do they know who the girl is?
Not yet. When they enter the bedroom, they found the woman laying partially on the bed with her pants pulled down to her ankles, her pants and underwear. And she's laying face down, and they notice that she has what looks like gunshot wounds to the back of the head.
Oh.
So now they're walking through the house, and they find a purse in the living room, and they discover that this is in fact the body of Julie Kibuishi. Originally, investigators first thought that this homicide could be the result of like a potential love triangle situation or, a love story going wrong or something like that. So they find her ID, they get her name, and they call in and notify Julie's parents. Her parents understandably completely lost it, and her family was just devastated because they were really, really close. At the crime scene, though, they start to hear a Taylor Swift song playing. No, they really do. They hear a Taylor Swift song.
It got to be a ringtone.
It is. They realize it's a ringtone coming from the bottom of Julie's bag. So they go through the bag and they pull out her cell phone and they start reading through her texts because this is 2010, so people's cell phones weren't locked and you could get into someone's cell phone and start reading through their texts. So early in the day, on Friday, Julie had gotten a text from Sam that said, "Helping Dan, then headed to my folks for the weekend." That was earlier in the day on Friday. Dan was the guy I told you about that lives downstairs. Dan Wozniak, the actor. So he's getting married soon.
I already know where this is going.
To his girlfriend, Rachel. Sam has been helping Dan with money because Dan couldn't afford the wedding to Rachel.
And he's dirty dicking it. That means 2 girls.
Who is?
Dan.
Why do you think that?
Because a girl and a guy don't help each other with money for no reason.
No. Sam, the guy, was helping Dan with money for his wedding to marry his fiancée, Rachel.
Oh, so he was helping the dude.
Yes.
I thought he was helping the girl.
No, he was giving Dan money towards his wedding. He was helping him by giving him money.
That's still fishy.
So a few hours later, after that text, earlier, helping Dan headed to my folks for the weekend, his text changed dramatically. And remember, she started getting, "Come by, please come by, don't tell anyone, no sex, I need to talk." And, he said, "I'm hurting with some bad family crap. Can you please come by around midnight? I can't be alone." So Julie replies to these texts, these, back-to-back texts, and says, "Yes, I'm here for you. I'm like family." That was the last thing she said to him through text. Investigators then discover on the back of Julie's sweatshirt, it says written on there, "All yours, comma, fuck you."
Did someone write it, or was this like a printed t-shirt?
No. Someone wrote it on the back of her sweatshirt. Now, investigators are like, okay, so maybe Sam was drunk. She shows up. They get into some type of argument. He snaps, right? There's empty beer bottles outside. He snaps. He sexually assaults her in the bedroom, shoots her in the back of the head. That's kind of the theory that they're going with at this point with all the evidence in front of them. It seems pretty cut and dry. Boyfriend and girlfriend, killed her in a fit of rage. Same old story. His passport and his car and him were all missing. So they're like, all right, he's on the run. When they start looking into Sam's past, they realize that he was accused and then charged with murder. And he ended up getting acquitted for this charge. He went to trial and got acquitted for the charge of murder. Okay, which is very interesting.
And I'm guessing you're going to tell me about this case because I'm kind of curious.
So apparently he had a friend with him that the people who knew the friend claimed he lured to an area and got him killed by gang members. That was the story. But I don't know enough about the details of the case. I just know that that was what the charge was against him, and he was acquitted of it.
Okay.
So from the detective's point of view, this is open and shut. They just need to find this guy. This kid is dangerous. He's on the run, and he's armed, clearly, because the girl was shot in the back of the head.
Good point.
They also know that from family and friends that he has a history of PTSD, and he was a combat veteran, and they're worried about what he could do. So they decide to release Sam's photo to the media and a vehicle description.
I feel like they might find him dead too, though.
Well, let's see what happens. They release this to the media, and it plays on the evening news. So naturally, detectives start questioning everybody, like anyone, parents, friends, and Dan Wozniak and Rachel Buffett, who live downstairs. The couple that is getting married soon, right? Rachel told them that Sam was in their apartment earlier that day, and he was hanging out with Dan. She also says that Sam left the apartment.
All right, wait. Who's the boyfriend?
Sam.
Sam is the boyfriend.
Dan
is
the actor.
All right, the rhyming names are screwing me up. Dan's downstairs. All right, got it.
You guys already know because we have been talking about them for a while now. Via Hemp is by far one of our favorite sponsors we've ever had, okay? We use their products all the time. Maybe you're a little like me. You're a little anxious. You have a hard time settling down. You're kind of wound up a lot. If that's you, Via Hemp products are for you. Check out their website. You will find something that speaks to you. Maybe you're like Russ. You have a hard time sleeping because you have bad nerve pain or chronic pain. Then Via Hemp is for you because their gummies will help you get some quality sleep. Maybe you're looking to have a really good time. Maybe you just really like edibles. You want to laugh. You want to get the munchies. You want to watch a movie and have a really strong belly laugh. Then Via Hemp products are for you, okay? They're literally for everybody. So head over to viahemp.com, promo code wifeofcrime1 to get 15% off your first order. That's VIIAHEMP.com, wifeofcrime1 for 15% off your first order. Last year, Save More Money was the most popular New Year's resolution in America. Clearly, a lot of us feel like our money is slipping through our fingers. Well, I don't know about you, but I'm not the best saver, and I don't know much about investing until I started saving and investing with Acorns. Turns out you don't have to be an expert at all because Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that fits you and your money goals. And I always thought that when people say, ooh, I invest in stocks, that they had a ton of money or something. Well, you don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you invest with the spare money you've got right now. You can literally start with $5. And you know you guys are spending that at Starbucks on these fancy lattes. So skip the coffee and invest with Acorns. You don't even need a ton of time. Like you can just sign up and start investing within 5 minutes. Head over to acorns.com/wifeofcrime or download the Acorns app to start saving and investing for your future today. That's acorns.com/wifeofcrime. So Rachel tells them that Sam left the apartment with a guy wearing a black hat.
Who is the boyfriend?
Sam is the boyfriend.
Got it. In there.
Okay. Little did anyone know, Sam's father, Steve, he was conducting an investigation on his own.
Respect.
Because he was like, no, this is not my kid. I get what it looks like. I get this looks weird. There's a dead girl in my son's apartment. But this is not my son. My son could not do something like this. So
you should always be proactive and not just leave it up to authorities who are just trying to close a case. They don't care who gets convicted as long as someone gets convicted.
I don't believe that the investigators are like that. I think that's more like the prosecutors.
No, we've seen many times where police get an idea of who they think did it, and they'll just look at every single thing that could pinpoint the case to that person. We've seen that many times.
That's true. We have. But in this situation, I think I would be thinking the same thing. But his dad knows him. And his dad knows his personality and knows what he's capable of. And he says, you know, my son's not capable of doing something like this. And his gut was telling him he needs to conduct an investigation on his own. So he starts questioning people on his own and just reading into things a little deeper. He also has access to Sam's finances.
My head hit the microphone.
He also has access to Sam's finances and notices that there's activity happening on his account.
Oh.
And it's happening close by. Because, you know, like you'll get alerts that say someone's using your card at the, you know, some banks do that.
Nah, what was that? You said 2010?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I don't think they had that back then.
Well, that's what he said in the interview that I watched, so I don't think he lied about it.
All right, he was signed up for technology early.
Sam had about $65,000 that he had saved in an account. And
That's a lot
this
of
was
money.
yeah, this
for a
was,
young dude.
Yeah, and there were withdrawals happening.
I don't have $65,000.
Well, this guy had 65 grand he had saved up, and there were withdrawals happening from this account. So Steve goes about a half hour north to Long Beach to the bank branch where the last withdrawal happened because he wants to go there and see, where these withdrawals are coming from. He starts surveilling the area. He ends up staying there for a while, just watching, seeing if someone goes to the ATM, and then if he gets an alert. He wants to see if anything like that happens.
I like this dude.
Yeah. He ends up getting an alert, but he gets one for the bank card being used at an ATM in a pizza shop around the corner. So he rushes to the pizza shop and he sits there for about a half hour and waits to see if his son's car is there or if he sees Sam himself, but he doesn't. But at the same time that Steve is doing
he knows
this,
something's up. This ain't Sam. He knows it.
Exactly. At the same time that he's doing this, police are monitoring the bank account on their end.
Because you know what? A lot of times people say, "Oh, my child couldn't have done that. My child." But you know what? All they do is say that, and they don't take action to prove it. They'll just open their fat mouth or something.
Well, he really did. But so were police. Police were monitoring the bank account as well. But what police have is they have access to the surveillance cameras that are on the ATMs.
Oh, Sam didn't do it.
So they see that this, ATM pinged that his card was used at this ATM in this pizza shop. They check the surveillance camera and they see it's not Sam.
Know it.
It's an unknown male withdrawing money with Sam's card. After analyzing the video, they realize he's like a really young teenager. He's a white kid with brown hair, young teenager, so young he couldn't even grow a beard probably, no facial hair. He looked like 16, 17. And he's wearing a hoodie with a baseball cap. So the card had been used to order a pizza as well. And the police get the address where the pizza is getting delivered. Okay.
This guy's an idiot.
So they surround the house, helicopters, SWAT team, multiple cop cars, guns drawn. Because in the police's mind, they see that this pizza is being delivered there. They're like, Sam's probably there.
I feel like this is like Call of Duty.
Maybe the kid maybe Sam ordered the pizza with his card, and then the kid went and withdrew money for Sam. So they're anticipating Sam to be in this house.
What do you think? He got a minion or someone that's going to go do his dirty work?
Well,
it's not Sam.
They raid this house, and who comes out of the house? A 17-year-old kid named Wesley. And he's the same kid on the surveillance cameras for the ATM.
Mm-hmm.
They search the residence, no sign of Sam. But they find his card. So Wesley gets taken down, and he's brought into an interrogation room. And he tells the cops he got the card from a friend that he acts with in the community theater, Dan Wozniak. Dan was like a mentor to Wesley. Dan tells Wesley, I got this friend Sam. He owes a bail bondsman a bunch of money. So I need to withdraw money from his account, and I need you to do it for me because they don't want it to look like he's taking money out of this account.
Little man killed him.
No, he just withdrew the money because Dan told him to.
Sounds fishy.
So he tells the cops, Dan told me to meet up with him every day and withdraw this money for his friend Sam out of his account. And I did it. And every day, him and Dan would go to different ATMs.
With Dan's credit card.
With Sam's credit card.
Oh, these names rhyme.
They would go to different ATMs and they would take out $400 at a time every day out of his account. So now, Dan Wozniak is a person of interest, obviously, in the disappearance of Sam Herr and also the murder of Julie Kibuishi. Police now want to question Dan, so they get him into an interrogation room as soon as possible. Dan is having a bachelor party because remember he's getting married soon. He's having a bachelor party, so the cops show up to the bar where he's drinking with his friends for his bachelor party. And Dan immediately looked shocked when they saw the police come through the door. They said, we got to take you downtown. We got to ask you some questions. And he's like, okay, I'll go with you. I'm going to tell you everything. I'm tired of covering for Sam. So let's talk about Dan Wozniak for a second. He was loved by the Orange County theater community. He was a triple threat, apparently. Great actor, great singer, great dancer, which is pretty rare.
Doesn't sound very threatening.
With male actors. No, they call it a triple threat when you're a great actor, singer, and dancer. When you can sing, dance, and act. Like, I can't. I can't sing. So I can act and I can dance, but I can't sing.
I don't know. I was thinking like baseball when they call you a 5-tool player.
What does that mean?
Means you could do five things well.
Oh, okay.
But triple threat, you ain't threatening.
Well, it's just an expression. That's what they call it.
It's all threatening singers.
So he was very committed to his roles. Directors loved working with him. He was described as an outgoing guy, life of the party, loving, happy-go-lucky. Some actors that I saw interviews with said that he was like a bit of an overactor, kind of pretentious sometimes. But a lot of, working actors have that reputation.
Overactor like Chris Farley, Jim Carrey?
No, just more, he's a theater actor. Very Broadway-esque, So Dan's...
Pretentious?
A little bit, yeah. Dan's fiancée, Rachel, was also an actress, okay? Dan and Rachel were apparently pretty hard up for cash. According to friends, they'd asked multiple people to borrow some money. They were getting married and they didn't have enough to pay for it. And they also were thousands in debt.
Why have one of those stupid-ass weddings if you don't have the money? Just like go to City Hall. Why put on the show?
I know. Well,
idiots.
They were thousands in debt and they were 2 months behind rent. So they were really hard up for
Lock
cash.
them up.
So now they have Dan Wozniak in this interrogation room and he tells the police, Sam and Dan came up with a plan.
You mixed up the names?
No, I rhymed. Sam and Dan came up with a plan.
Oh, I thought you mixed them up because I've been halfway confused the whole damn episode.
No, Sam and Dan came up with a plan to withdraw all the cash out of Sam's account.
That wasn't that funny.
It was funny to me. So they came up with a plan to withdraw all the cash, the $65,000, out of his account.
$400 at a time? Because that's what they've been doing.
Yeah,
Idiots.
Dan told the cops that the whole plan the whole time was to withdraw all the money out and then report the card stolen.
At $400 a pop. Let me look at how many days that would take you.
I don't know.
How much am I? 65,000?
Yeah.
Divided by 400. They're going to do this shit for 162 days. 0.5. So 162 and a half.
I don't know.
No fucking way would that plan work. Dad was already on the case.
Well, Dan is interrogated for hours, and he keeps saying he doesn't know where Sam is. I don't know where Sam is. I don't know where Sam is. But detectives didn't believe him. They were really suspicious because Dan kept changing just little minor details about his story. And, when you start changing little details in an interrogation, they're going to start feeling like you're super inconsistent. Dan tells detectives that Saturday morning, there's a knock at his door, and it was Sam. Sam was super distraught, and he tells Dan, I've done something really bad. There's a body in my apartment. I shot someone in a fit of rage. These were his exact words to the cops. He says that Sam said that to him.
Fit of rage sounds very dramatic.
I shot someone in a fit of rage.
Something an actor would say.
Yeah. So Sam...
Someone else would be like, I shot it because I was pissed off.
Yeah. Well, Sam apparently threatened him and his wife, and he said that, if you don't help me get rid of this body, I'm going to kill the two of you.
No one says that. This story is getting so stupid. Not stupid, but like the things he's saying are stupid.
The things he's telling cops.
The episode is amazing.
So, yeah, he says, I'm going to kill your wife if you don't help me get rid of this body. And, obviously the cops are seeing through this story. They don't believe it. Dan also tells cops, I told my wife, Rachel, to lie about Sam leaving our house with a guy with a black hat because I wanted to throw people off. And this, when he said that, I told my wife to lie to cops. They're like, oh, you lied to us. What else did you lie about? And that was like an inkling to them that he's inconsistent. Dan tells them, I drove Sam to a strip mall. That's another red flag. Why would you drive him to a strip mall? There are cameras there. Why would someone who just murdered somebody want to be dropped off at a strip mall where there's tons of security cameras? Doesn't make any sense.
Maybe he was dumb.
So detectives
obviously dumb.
Detectives aren't buying this. And as soon as he admitted to lying to police, they're like, okay, we need your DNA. We need your DNA so that we can clear you of this crime. So at first, Dan was a little apprehensive, but they're like, no, listen, we're getting DNA from people. We just want to clear you. That's it. And then you can go home. So they swab him. And you can tell he was a little relieved. His mind, you can see, I watched the interrogation on YouTube. You can see him kind of...
And you'll post that on wifeofcrime.com?
Sure, I'll post it on wifeofcrime.com.
You got to check it out. That's our website.
It is, but I have to update it because I didn't put the last episode on it, so...
Hashtag Jess is slacking.
So, we're
just two people at a kitchen table, people.
So they swab him. He seems really relieved. And he's like, all right, cool, I'm ready to go. But wait, it's not over. Cops don't let him go. They say, all right, well, now we're going to have to cross-match your DNA with the crime scene. We're going to have to make sure that your DNA is not in that apartment. Because you said you didn't go in there.
Obviously, that's why...
it shouldn't be there.
Obviously, that's why they wanted the DNA. What else would they do with it? Just, collect it like baseball cards?
They wanted to see how he reacts to getting his DNA collected. That's what they're doing. But they're also collecting it because they want it. But they're already on to him. So they want to see how he reacts to that.
He should have moved
So Dan
to
says,
Mexico.
oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I was in his apartment the day before. And I even used his bathroom. And I went out on the patio and had a couple beers. So my DNA probably is all over that apartment. He's about to crack. And they start pushing him because they're like, all right, this dude's about to crack. He's getting nervous. He's all over the place. So they start asking him over and over, where else is your DNA going to show up? Where else is it going to be in the bedroom?
The bedroom is next.
Will it be in the bedroom? Did you happen to go in the bedroom? Will it be on Julie? Because her body's still there. Is your DNA on Julie?
Shit.
And they keep pushing him, putting pressure on him. They start getting sarcastic with him. One of the detectives says, you're not even a good actor. Just give it up. You suck at acting. And starts getting under his skin. You can tell he starts to get nervous because he stands up. He's putting his fingers through his hair. He's pacing back and forth.
I want to see this.
I'll put it up. He's pacing back and forth. And you can tell that they're really pushing his button, but he's getting really overly dramatic. That's kind of his reaction to it. He's like, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything. Putting on like a show, like a soap opera actor.
They were probably roasting him because cops are just like regular working guys, like you fucking punk.
The detective
tell us
said,
you did it.
The detective said, you're arrested for the accessory to murder. Dan seemed shocked and he starts screaming, I don't know anything. So detectives say, all right, well, you don't know anything. How about you just sit here for a little while? When you're ready to talk, you can let us know what's going on. So they leave Dan in the room alone to think. And a little while later, Dan says, okay, I'm ready to talk. And this is what he says.
You said you wanted to talk to me. What's going on?
I'm crazy and I did it.
You did what?
I killed Julie and I killed Sam.
Okay. Tell me how you killed Sam.
2 shots using my father's gun that I had.
And your motive behind killing Sam was?
Money and insanity.
Money and insanity. Okay. Tell me about the Sam incident and what you did.
I told him that I needed to move some stuff from the theater. I said, you need to bend down and help me lift this thing up. And when he bent down, I grabbed the gun. I never really fired the gun before, so I pulled it back and I shot him.
Okay. Is there anything that you said to Julie prior to shooting her?
No, I didn't. I got her in. I was downstairs in my apartment. I was still text messaging.
That was Sam's phone you were using?
Yes.
Okay.
Sam's phone.
What sort of text messaging were you doing back and forth?
I was saying, you need to come over tonight. You need to come over tonight.
What did you say to Julie?
Julie was wearing like a crown tiara. She had just come from her brother's. I had said, Sam had just called me and he was going through some stuff. She said, yeah, me too. I said, well, I have a key, let's go in. I opened the door, I let us in. And then I just went to the bathroom real quick because I was really nervous. Loaded the gun again.
And
Went back out into the hallway and then said, oh, by the way, did you see this in Sam's bed? And I said, lean over, look at it right there. And when she was leaned over, I put 2 bullets in the back of her head.
okay, when did you feel you had to kill Julie? What was the rationale behind that?
I was going crazy.
No, but seriously.
Seriously, to cover up Sam. And so
Why? How would that cover up Sam?
To make it look like he was on the run and he did it.
He was the one that did it.
Right. It reached a point to where I couldn't even believe that I was doing this. I don't know. I don't know.
Crazy confession, right? He just laughed after he said, I'm insane.
I think that he laughed in order to make it seem like he was insane. Like he was thinking, how could I make it seem like I'm insane as well?
Doubtful, Russ.
I'm profiling. You're just the narrator. I'm Russ, the profiler. So I'm saying he only laughed. It seemed like he was trying to be like the Joker. You know what I mean? Like, he's not really crazy. Well, the Joker's crazy. I don't know. It's only a stupid comic book. But he laughed to make it seem like he was insane. Because if he said I'm insane and you just say it mad calm, like that's my defense. Oh, well. Like, you're not crazy. You had motive. You were trying to steal money.
Yeah, but it takes a crazy person to steal someone's money and then murder him and a random girl, his girlfriend,
I don't think it
and
takes
create a plan. It takes someone pretty crazy to do that.
I don't think it takes a crazy person to do that. It could take a broke person. It takes a crazy person to laugh at it and think that it's funny.
But he laughed. You don't think he's crazy?
I think the laugh was fake. Because he's dramatic. He's an actor. You already said this. He's being very dramatic. He's setting up the show.
Okay, but he's confessing to murder.
Just
His
agree
life
with
is
me.
over.
Yes, but now he's also trying to set up an insanity plea for the future.
Okay, if that's what you think.
No, so just say I'm right.
Oh, you're right.
Thank you.
So
Hashtag profiles.
What ended up happening is Dan gave a bag, like a black duffel bag, to his brother. And he said, get rid of this. And in it was all the evidence. The wallet, the cell phones, weapon, financial statements. He gave it to his brother. Guess what his brother did? His brother put it in his parents' backyard. Not even buried it, just put it back there because he didn't know what was in it and what it was. So the cops...
Well, his brother wasn't down with it.
The cops found the bag and found everything really quick so they could corroborate all this.
Well, what would you do if your brother gave you that stuff and you didn't know what it was? You would just, it doesn't matter. It is what it is. Like, you gave me a bag, I'm going to put it to the side.
Yeah. Well, what ended up happening to Sam is that after he killed him, he dismembered his body and he dumped it in the El Dorado Park.
That's always crazy when people dismember. That takes a lot to saw through bones and
It's disgusting,
stuff.
And that's why I think he could be crazy.
No, the laugh was fake.
So he killed 2 innocent people, and his reasoning for this was to pay for his wedding and his cruise for his honeymoon. That's it. That's the reason. To go on a cruise to the Caribbean.
And to marry his woman. Maybe she was pressuring him.
Who cares?
He did. And he thought it was funny.
It makes me so
angry. I'm not justifying it.
No, I
at
know.
all.
It just makes me so angry. That same night that he murdered them, that Friday night, he was out at a cast party later on. There are videos of him laughing, drinking, dancing, like nothing happened.
He was like, I just made $65,000 tonight.
How crazy is that? So Dan Wozniak was tried and sentenced to death, and he sits on death row in California. His fiancée, Rachel, she still is awaiting her trial. Police believe she knew...
Oh, wait, she's in on it too?
Well, police believe she knew all about it. So she's being tried for accessory to murder.
For not snitching?
No, for knowing about it.
So, but if
police believe she knew about the whole plan.
So if you know something and you don't say something...
You're accessory to murder.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. If you know someone murdered someone, and you know there was a plan to murder someone, you are an accessory to that murder. You know all about it and you didn't do anything.
But
to
I
stop
wouldn't
it.
tell neither because that's not me. I'm on my
Well,
business.
you going to jail, bro, because you know about it.
No, that's snitching.
Snitching,
in the Bronx, we don't snitch.
It doesn't matter. You don't snitch, you go to jail for accessory to murder.
But I wasn't an accessory. An accessory is like a cord to your iPhone that's supposed to go with it.
You know, Russ, shut up. You know what I mean. Accessory to murder means you knew about
Or you're
a
like
crime.
the headphones. I'm not the headphones to the murder. I don't belong with this murder.
Your
I just
joke
knew
is
when I was
stupid.
minding my business.
Your joke is dumb. All right, so he sits on death row. She is still awaiting her trial, and these two innocent people who literally did nothing wrong.
She needs to get out.
are
Free,
dead.
what's her name?
Why does she need to get out?
For not snitching.
If she knew about it, she's equally as guilty as him.
No, you're not. If you
Russ.
did, just because you didn't tell?
She's benefiting from the money that he's going to steal. It's not like it's just a friend that he told. She is going to get married with that blood
don't
money.
care.
That money has blood on it, and she's going to use it to get married and go on a cruise.
There's no blood in the
F
ATM.
her.
It comes out clean.
No, whatever. She's an idiot.
I don't
And she
agree.
belongs in jail too. Whatever. We can
Just because
we can agree to disagree.
No, we
You're
can't.
trying to tell me that if the two,
Are you ever going to let me talk?
they might have come up with the plan together. Police believe that she knew. They
What-
might have planned the whole thing together, and
But
he just took
if
the
he
fall.
didn't, well, that's different. If she was really part of it, of being in the house and everything while it's going on, but if he was like, "Hey, I'm gonna go get this money, I'll be back," then she didn't do it,
If he
and she just didn't tell.
if he said, "I'm gonna go get this money, I'll be back," and she knew he was gonna go kill two innocent
How
people
are you an
for
accessory?
it?
That means you know. They should
Yes,
change it
that's what it means.
for knowing a crime and not telling someone.
Yes.
That's bullshit.
No, what you're saying is bullshit. She deserves to go to
No, it's
jail.
a code
if
of
she
honor.
knew.
You don't tell.
It doesn't matter. That's not the law, Russ.
Well, fuck that law.
Whatever.
I'm down for the anti-snitching
We'll
law.
agree to disagree. In a world like ours, we agree to disagree quite often. And our show has proven that two people can love each other and still agree to disagree.
You're wrong. You're getting on my nerves. You're not supposed to tell. I would. So you would tell? I wouldn't tell.
No.
If you went and killed someone, I'd be like, they probably deserved it.
But if you or
You're a snitch.
If you-
That's what it
no,
comes
no, no,
down to.
no.
You're a snitch.
if you and
I'm
I
no snitch.
if you and I planned to murder people together and steal 65 grand from them or from one of them and use it to fund our wedding, we both deserve to be in jail because we're scumbag pieces of shit.
Yeah, but that isn't what.
That's what they're saying. They're saying that she knew, that she planned it.
But she didn't do it.
Doesn't matter. She knew.
No, if you planned it, then maybe. But if your boyfriend's just like, I just went and killed someone, and you just don't tell, that's
yeah, you're still an accessory to murder.
That's,
You are still an accessory to murder.
I thought
for
an
that.
accessory was like, say for instance, like Max B. He went to jail. He's a rapper. From what I heard, allegedly, he told someone about something that was going on. So now these people went over there, robbed them, and killed them. But now he's an accessory because he told about the situation that's going on that they can go make money in. So that made him an accessory.
Okay.
But just knowing, can't you just plead the fifth because you have the right to not incriminate yourself?
I'm talking about that they think that she knew ahead of time, like she was part of the planning of it.
Then you're an accessory.
Yes.
That was what I thought it was, that if you're part of the planning, then you're an accessory. But say, for instance, if you killed someone, you came and told me, I killed him. I don't know. If you're a lawyer, I don't know if any lawyers listen to this, hit me up, let me know, and just tell me I'm right. That's all I want to hear.
I don't know if you know after the fact, but they think she knew before the fact.
Then
That's what
that makes
I'm
her
saying.
part of the plan.
Yes.
I'm curious though, like if someone said, "Hey Russ, I killed this person," and I
don't
tell.
think if you know after the fact, but I don't know either. But I think they're talking about she knew before while they were planning it. That's crazy, right? Isn't it crazy that it's very similar story to the one that happened last week?
Oh yeah, 'cause they're stealing the bread.
Yeah.
I wonder how they knew how much money he had in his bank account.
He probably was his friend and trusted him and told him.
Listen, my friends don't know whether I have $1 in my bank account or 100 million, or even if I guess they know I have a bank account. You got to pay bills, but like in general, I don't talk about my bank account.
Yeah, maybe he told him that he had it, which is really sad. The whole thing is just sad. Those two people didn't deserve to die for money. I just think that's so nasty. Disgusting.
Well, people seem to normally die for money or passion.
Or serial killers that just have weird, messed up fantasies.
Yeah, but I feel like that's much less.
Yeah, that's less often, for sure.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. Well, that's it. That's our story for the week and our heated conversation at the end. But it just shows that you can agree to disagree with someone, even though in the end we kind of agreed. Look at that.
She should always listen to me because I'm right. She's just like trying to be miss politically correct. But first of all, hashtag don't snitch. Everybody put that up this week. Hashtag don't snitch on Instagram at Wife of Crime Pod on Instagram.
All right. And check us out at Facebook's The Crime Family, Wife of Crime, The Crime Family, and wifeofcrime.com. I promise I'll update it because I haven't updated it in a couple weeks. And yeah, that's it. Have a good couple weeks, guys. We'll be back in 2 weeks.
Yo, and go check out them t-shirts that make you look pretty cool. Russ the Profiler out.
Bye.